Kia ora.
Mr Speaker.
Colin King.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It's a pleasure to be following this bill to its completion in the House during the third reading of the Industry Training and Apprenticeship Amendment Bill. It's very important that we put on record that every ITO, all 14 of them now that exist, have an industry advisory group. And that industry advisory group works very, very closely with the ITO to ensure what this bill enshrines, that industry training and the qualifications that are registered on the NZQA are up to date and appropriate for the time for that particular industry. And it was my pleasure the other day to sit in on a meeting with the primary industry ITO and see that advisory group at work. So when we hear the laments from the opposition about a lack of leadership, it tends to tell us that they are poorly informed and do not understand how actually industry functions. And they on the other side call Ashira arrogant. What I would say back to them is do their homework, understand how things work, and give some credit to industry for taking a leadership role. And one thing I'd like to say, Mr Chair, Mr Speaker, is that industry in this country needs to take more leadership in the industry training space. Because as an industry, when you look at it, there's the 80-20 rule. 20% of businesses are doing the training and 80% are waiting there to pick up the apprentices when they are trained. And really we've got a very, very long way to go until we are world's best practice in valuing skills and trades. So from that point of view, when we look at the comments that the opposition are making, it was interesting, Mr Speaker, that there was a comprehensive review done in 2012. And what that identified was that there were gaps in the provision of industry training. And that one of those people, and it wasn't the big end of town that the opposition likes to accentuate, it was actually one of our cooperatives, foodstuffs, that actually talked about wanting to have the opportunity to customise the training to meet their particular needs. So from that point of view, Mr Speaker, this bill actually enshrines the good practice that needs to be adhered to. And in conclusion, I'd just make the point, and I've made it before and I'd like to make it again. Under Labor, they created an environment where industry training became a gold rush, their apprenticeship training became a perverse incentive to grab money, and I cite one case where a modern apprenticeship coordinator took $250,000 and only ever had one completed modern apprenticeship. Mr Speaker, this is an outstanding bill. It will bring in disciplines that are overdue, and it's only a national-led government that had the courage to do so.
Tracy Martin.
I find it very interesting that Mr King